Warning! The following contains content that could result in a positive perspective on life, which some viewers may find motivational and inspirational. Subsequently, audiences may experience changes in behavior, such as becoming productive and determined. Please attempt to try this at home and occupy your place!
Occupiers, if you're an avid gamer like myself, this one's for you. Now today we're meeting someone who plays no games when it comes to tech. Almost losing control, it looked to be game over. However, he refused to phone it in and screw his head on to repair and rebuild that firewall brick by brick. By the time the CPU and the motherboard connected, his output went stratospheric, and I mean literally worldwide, to achieve some amazing feats. I got just what you were looking for.
I appreciate the bike. We're just common people. There's nothing. I weren't no silver spoon kid, you know, anything along those lines. And I've got a younger brother. I've got an older sister. My dad was always in the tech industry. He would run his own computer repair shop. Like back in the day, he was doing that for a good 15 years before that he was a bus driver for Stagecoach. Now he is a mechanic for coaches. So yeah, he's gone off on a different little tangent, but yeah, no, he enjoys it. My brother is my brother. My sister is my sister. That's all I've really got. No, to be fair, yeah, so yeah, they're doing their own thing. My mum has always been like a stay-at-home, kind of like look after the kids, you know, when we were growing up. She used to like work as a delivery driver, and then she kind of like stayed with us at home, and yeah, just kind of like look after the kids while my dad was the one that's out grafting and making sure the roof stayed above the head, you know. My upbringing is pretty basic. I don't have anything extravagant, pretty standard upbringing. School was where my personality developed. Before that, I was always like the cute little kid. Well, I say cute, I think people were just being biased because I was quite biased as a kid. But yeah, no, I was, you know, I would say secondary school is where my personality really kicked in. I had a little bit of a head start in secondary school because my sister was in year 10 when I joined in year 7. So I automatically had that arrogance. I think arrogance is the right word. My sister didn't have the best reputation for punctuality, so the teachers really did push that onto me. Year 7 to year 9, I was really bad. Really badly misbehaving. Not for no particular reason, I just wanted to be the class clown. The way that I could feel like I could be heard or voiced was by just doing stupid things. I was on like final permanent exclusion for ages, from year 7 to year 9. And then they actually switched head teachers. And we had a teacher called Miss Dennis. I got sent out of my maths teacher's classroom. The teacher didn't like me. He hated me in the classroom, only because I was disruptive to the other students. So he was a bit like, I don't want you in my class because you're stopping everyone else from learning. But back in the day, everyone else that was being stopped from learning was engaging my bad behaviour. He sent me out as soon as I walked in, get out of my classroom now and go to the head teacher's office. Now my head teacher at the time was a male, but I never knew that the head teacher changed. The weirdest thing, we actually just clicked. Like we literally just clicked like that. Like I'm telling her why I act stupid, you know, and this, that and the other. And we actually had a really good relationship from there. Year 9, I kind of said to myself, I need to start knuckling down now. Like I need to seriously, year 9, year 10, year 11 are the most important years because you're not going to go to sixth form or college unless you've got that GCSE bit. So I feel like I had my fun. What else to do other than earn money in school was my objective. I sat there and I thought, there's got to be a way with all of these students. I was friends with everyone. I was friends with a popular group. I was friends with what they would class back then the boffins. I was friends with the nerds. I was friends with the goths. It was like separate. Do you know what I mean? They were separate, but we all got along. So I said to myself, what can we do? My friend Bill Fuller, he runs a company called Orbis in Canary Wharf, and we sat there and was like, what are we gonna do to make some money? We downloaded movies onto our phones, sold them for £2 a movie by Bluetoothing them to people.
Really?
Yeah. So we were selling 15 movies a week. We were just like, yeah. One of my boys, Shegel, we call him the Donut Man, because he would go to Morrison's, buy a pack of donuts, 4 of them, and then he'd come in and he'd sell them for £1 each. But he'd buy the whole lot for like £1.50 on reduced. And then we were sitting there, and then me and my friend Brad was like, oh, we've got to jump on this hustle. So what are we going to do? He was like, no, I can get malwams, bare cheap, man, from the shop down the road. We'd get like £5 worth. And then we'd sell the malwams for like 50p each. But we'd get like 10 for £1. I got excluded for 6 weeks. For stupid stuff. I didn't mean to do it, but we're not going to go down that road. My dad said, listen, if you're excluded, you're coming to work. Like, there's no ifs or buts. You're not sitting at home on the Xbox doing what you got to do. You are coming to work. I'm like, Dad, I've only been excluded for 2 weeks. He's like, no, it says on the letter 6 weeks. I said, no, it don't. I edited the letter. So I only had to go work with my dad for 2 weeks. But then the 4 weeks after, I hung around outside the school. Anyone that wanted chicken and chips from Dixie, I'll get a few, and I had £2 on top. So I had all the kids coming to the front of the school, and then they're like, oh, I want 1 piece chicken and chips. That's £4.
Wow.
So whatever it was, I doubled it. But everyone was getting chicken and chips, even the teachers. I was like focused in my classroom, doing what I was doing, and just trying to just like hustle as much money as I could. But it's only small change. But back then, if you can hustle £30 a week,
Yeah.
I mean, £30 a week as a kid,
Yeah,
that's a pair of trainers. I was surrounded by a very, very hustler group of people with all the same mindset. And I would say, I still stay in contact with a lot of my school friends. And I'm going to be honest, I'm proud of every single one of them. I am. Like, I'm seriously proud of every single one of them, because in their own way, they've made their journey perfect. And, you know, a lot of like teachers were saying to me, like they normally, the cliche saying, you're not going to make it anywhere in life. But to the teachers that said that, here I am. I left with 12 A-star to C GCSEs. I say I've really knuckled down. The only subject that I failed was history, but I used that as my bunking lesson. So that was the lesson where I could go out and try and earn myself like whatever it is. I probably won about £15-20 a week on penny up the wall. Yeah. So I'd get people out the class. So that was my bunking lesson. So that's the only reason why I failed history. I went to Barking Dagenham College. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I went in to do my higher education and business studies. I got along again with the teacher that was teaching us. My business studies was a 2-year course. I would like to say I got mixed with the wrong crowd at the beginning, because they weren't my peer group. I met them as a whole new person. By the time you turn 16, 17, you're a whole different person to when you joined secondary at 11. It was still good, I regret nothing. You know, they're all good people again. I made sure that I used and utilised the whole 3 years. Electric course. I've done that for about 3 months, bored the life out of me. A pigeon could do this. I'm not wasting my time learning how electrics work. That's common sense in my eyes. I then left, and did I leave or did I get kicked out? I think I got kicked out of that course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the teacher did kick me out, yeah. And I went into bricklaying, and I was just like, I'm not someone to get my hands dirty. So I stayed in college until I was 19, but I told the teachers that I was, what's that word? Where your parents don't earn a lot of money. You get something in college. Bursary. That, yes, yes, that was it. So I went to the office and I said, oh, miss, I need bursary. My mum and dad, they don't really read and write very well. I was like, do you mind if I take this paper? You can like cross out the person's name. I said, I'll take it home and I'll just show them what they need so they can get it. She gave me 2 pieces of documentation, one form to fill out, and then one was like proof of whatever the reason is. I just photocopied it and just edited it with all my names. Went back there, gave it to her, and I was getting £20 a week. I already had 3 other jobs that I was, that I was doing. It was like, why not? They should have done their due diligence and they should have checked it properly. Sure. Ain't gonna check it properly. I'm taking that £20 a week, £80 a month. Pete, you know what I could have bought at 18?
Yeah,
£80 a month.
Insert Judge Judy meme. You're a hustler.
You're a hustler.
A part of me does want to take a law career at some point in the future. Yeah. There was 3 things I promised myself I was going to be. It was going to be a lawyer, it was going to be a footballer, or it was going to be an entrepreneur. I played for a local team in Raynham called Emblem, and then we went to Leyton Orient trials. A friend of mine, he was a better footballer, I must admit. I wouldn't admit it back then, but I'll admit it now. So if you're watching, he got scouted for Leyton Orient. It kind of knocked my confidence a little bit, because the scouter came over and he was like, "You're good, but your friend's better." Then we went to West Ham trials for under 16s. Scatter came over, I think it was QPR. He point blank looked at me and he said, "I'm not going to lie to you," he said, "You are a really good player, but you don't match our height criteria. We're looking for people 5'6" and above." And it was for right mid. And I was like, oh. And then ever since that day, I never really played football again, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I weren't the best, do you know what I mean? I was nowhere near like half the people that we had playing for Essex and things like that, but I still feel like I had the ambition to become better. Like, I was still adjustable. A lot of people that are really good are stuck in their ways, but I feel like with the right person managing me, I feel like I would have had a good career. I carried on playing for like little teams here and there. I played for Dagenham Redbridge under 16s for a little bit. I played for my friends not that long ago, probably like 3-4 years ago, Britons, and stuff like that. So like, I'll have a kick around if I need to. But it's like the career path back then, once I kind of like got told that I was too small, it was a bit like, if you ain't gonna choose me, no one's gonna choose me, kind of thing. So yeah, I didn't get back into it. My parents have always said that I'd be a good lawyer. I have a way with words. I feel like I know the law subconsciously without even knowing that I've read, everything. There's just ways that I feel like would be lawful, and it's got me out of a lot of sticky situations. I feel like I would be a good lawyer, for the right reasons, to be honest. Other than that, yeah, entrepreneurship, that's been embedded in my genes since day one. It all started from my nan. That was where it all started from. We used to do Sunday boot sales every Sunday. I think about 9-10 years old. I'm like, Nan, I want to earn money, I want to buy this, I want to buy like this Pokemon card, these Yu-Gi-Oh cards, these match attacks. She's like, okay, well, I'm not giving you pocket money anymore. Straight up. I'm like, Nan, that's your role, that's your duty. What do you mean I'm not getting pocket money no more? What's all that about? She's like, listen, Kyle, you want to earn money, you're going to do it properly. Brass back then was worth a lot of money in scrap. So she'd say, look, we'll go and collect a load of brass, and I'll take it to the scrap yard for you, and whatever we get, I'll give it to you. So we're walking around, we're picking up like these little brass figures, because they come in ornaments. My nan would change it up, and she'd probably get me 30 quid a week, something like that. And I'm like, oh, now I can buy myself, these magazines or whatever it was that I wanted back then. And then we switched it up, and it became like a duo. So my nan would be walking with me, she'd hold my hand, and she's like, listen, we're gonna have to get a little bit more profit for you. I'm like, what's profit? What does profit mean, Nan? She's like, just kind of follow my lead. I'm like, all right, fine. And I remember it again so clear, because it all started from then. And we're walking along, we're going up to the stall, and there'd be like a little figure of, I don't know, just say a deer. Yeah. My nan would pick it up and she'd go, oh, that's cute, isn't it, Kyle? And I'm like, yeah, that's cute, Nan. We can't afford it today, though. And I'm like, really? No, but I owe £30. Shh. Then the person would come over. Oh, you interested in this deer? My nan would be like, yeah, how much is it? Oh, it's 4 quid. Oh, Kyle, sorry, not today, love. We'll have a look around. Oh, well, I'll do 3 quid for you. And I'm like, Nan, can we afford £3 though? And the guy's like, no, just take it. Before you know it, we've either got it for free or we've got it for half the price, but I'm doubling my profit. And I'm thinking, right, Nan, is this what you're about? I'm thinking to myself, wow, like, now I'm learning again how to make money subconsciously through buying and selling, through trying to bargain your price and trying to be like a, hustler, really.
Hustler.
We're not putting no one out of pocket. Majority of the people at Boots are just clearing out old goods. We would be like a little Bonnie and Clyde type thing. We developed a really, really strong relationship, and you know, we still have a very, very good relationship now. She turned 91 the other day, bless her. I opened Console Clinic when I was 16, but I couldn't turn it into a limited company until I was 18. So it was my dad that pushed me into this particular career field. We used to start off at Stratford Computer Fair. There was a guy called Jason, and he specialised in PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. He was working Saturday and Sunday, but he wanted to go into Formula 1 creating, like actually making the cars. And he said to my dad, do you want to take this job over? And my dad was like, I'm busy in my own field. Let me speak to my son. He's like, look, Jason's leaving. He's going to show you the ropes, take over his store. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. There was a guy called Winston, and he came in, and this was the very first customer of my very first day. Jason says to me, Kyle, whatever you do, you look after this man. All right, he's special to me. I'm about 13 these times, and he's still a customer to me to this day.
Wow.
He comes all the way from Tottenham.
Wow. Shout out Winston.
Winston.
Loyal.
13 to 16, I was working at Stratford Computer Fair. I was earning a lot of money, but no one was guiding me on what to do with the money. And I wish I had an older person to go, I'm taking that money away from you because you can't be trusted. And when I say a lot, I was at about 14, 15 years old, I was probably taking about £1,000 a week. At that age, what can you do with that money? I was just doing stupid stuff. I was buying stupid trainers, buying stupid belts, you know. Like, when I turned 16, I still had that kind of, a little bit of revenue there. And I'm like, okay, you know, taking girls to places, trying to treat them, because I thought that's what made me popular. Thinking I'm buying my way into that lifestyle. But again, had I had someone who's like, oh, we're taking that money away from you until you're 18, then we'll give it back. But my parents were like, it's your money, you do what you want, you're going to learn your own way, which come with pros and cons, because I learned the hard way. By the time I turned 18, I'm taking girls hotels, you know, I'm buying cars, spending money on, you know, food. But it wasn't until about 21 that I thought to myself, hang on a second, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing with your life? Like, the money that you've got, you need to reinvest. So from 18 to 21, I was sitting there about how can I reinvest the money? And then that's how I got here today. So start young. When you get your national insurance, that's when they start thinking, right, okay, what are you earning that? Give me what you got. But before 16, they're not even thinking that you could even have the career path, that you could even earn money. If you can do anything before 16, you're off to a very, very good start in life. Passion. I must be honest. Obviously, the money's great. You look at Richard Branson, you look at Lord Alan Sugar, you look at all of these big people. There is not one person that has sat there and said, I've created this business because I don't care how much money I earn. Because people that have got that mentality, they open charity shops because they want to help, but they don't care about the return. So anyone within business is only there for money. Me personally, it was good seeing the ROI, obviously the return on investment. It was very good seeing that, but passion for repairs is where I strive. So, you know, I know how to fix things without even researching. I know how to reverse engineer, and I've developed my skill set from a very young age. In this particular industry, the market is huge. We diverse into everything. Most companies in the repair industry, they stay in one sector. We just repair computers and laptops. We just repair phones. We just repair, you know, games consoles. Whereas obviously I developed Console Clinic to a broad spectrum to repair everything. And that's because the passion of repairing, the satisfaction of someone coming in, which we've had in, you know, full grown men in tears. Like, I've lost my data, I can't get it back, a relative has passed away. The satisfaction that you get from bringing something from dead back to life, that's where the true passion of Console Clinic comes from. A lot of times, many occasions, and you know, my staff would back me up, that we've given things for free just because we can. We've got the sense of feeling that they didn't want this particular item to break. You know, we've done it free of charge, we've discounted it without even mentioning we've discounted it. There's a lot of times where we've had to do additional work, but we know that they even under the original quote. So all that additional work, we've just done it free of charge, just to keep them happy. But we're not gloat, we never ever gloat. We never say to them, this is what we've done for you, appreciate it. We never do that, because it comes from passion. It's not about you saying to me, thank you so much, you didn't need to do that. just by you smiling and walking out of here, that's enough for me. I don't need anything more. Originally started at 11, then turned it into like a full-time thing when I was 13. Took it very, very seriously when I was 16, and then turned it into a limited company when I was 18. Being a business owner is not for the faint-hearted. It is very, very, very difficult. It is very stressful. It's very mind-numbing. It's very hard, extremely hard. There's a reason why there are more employees in the world than there is business owners, because a lot of employees would love to go and often do their own thing, and they realise that it's harder than they thought. You know, there's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration. My passion has always been repairing. It's always been customer face value, you know, getting to know people and so on and so forth. Being a business owner has never, ever, ever been part of my projection of life. It's harder than anyone actually genuinely thinks. They think, you know, oh, well, the business owner gets to live in Dubai, he gets to sit there on the beach while all the workers do everything. Yeah, cool, if you're like a multi-millionaire, you know, living a life of luxury. But for a normal day-to-day person who's got a small business, you know, just trying to make ends meet and things like that, it's difficult. You've got to make sure the company makes a turnover. If you make a good turnover, the government are on your back. You know, they don't want you doing too well. If you're doing very, very well, they will take more, obviously, than needed. You've got your taxes, you've got your employees, if you get people in, you've got to train them, you've got to hope that they've got the same mentality of what you would have had. Which a lot of employees obviously don't really have that, because they look at it as just a job. If you own a car dealership, you bought a car in, you will check that car 100% before you give it to someone. But then when you start getting 3 or 4 staff, then have they got that same charisma, the same attitude that I'm going to check everything on that car's perfect before I sell it? They're not going to have that mindset, because as far as they're concerned, they're going in, they have to sell a car, they get a little bit of commission, they go home. But from a business perspective, it's like, did you do these checks? Has all the paperwork been filled? There's sleepless nights. You know, there are nights that, many, more than I could even count, where I've gone to bed and I can't sleep, so I'm thinking, number one, what do I need to do next? This industry changes weekly. What do I do next to keep it up to date? You know, did this customer get called? Did this email get sent out? Did my staff do this? Did I do this? And, you know, before I even go to sleep, I have like a conveyor belt of just all these things throughout the day. And I'm like, yep, tick that off, I know I did that. And they're like, oh, shit, I never done that. So I'm up sometimes, you know, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, replying back to emails, because I have to. But if you've got it in you, you can make it work. Obviously, you know, as proven. The pros. I was on holiday last week. I was on holiday the month before. I was on holiday the month before that.
Oh.
You know, when you do get a good set of employees, you know, the team that I've got now are fantastic. Like, they're the best team that I've had. I rely on them 100%. And I think that all of the cons that I've just said, I think if you was to come back to me in a month's time, I think they would have changed. Because now I've got the team that allows me to actually be the owner, where I can come in, make sure that everything's all done, ticked off. I can say to the guys, you smashed it this week, here's a little bit of a bonus. Being an owner did allow me to buy my own house at 25. It did allow me to buy the car I have at 25. It allows me to understand the fundamentals of earning money, rather than being an employee, where as an employee you earn money and then you go, how can I spend that? It's hard to come out of that mindset. A lot of people work 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, to live for the weekend. Yeah. That's a lot of people's mindsets, lifestyle. I want to go out clubbing, I want to go do this, I want to go do that. But as an owner, you can't do that. If I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to work a 9 till 5 on a Monday to Friday, and I'm going to go out partying with all the boys on the weekend, that's not a mindset of someone who owns a business. If I'm out drinking with everyone, my mind ain't about the drinking. My mind is sitting there thinking, right, did I send that email off? There's too many achievements that I've succeeded to pinpoint one. You know, in business aspect and in my own personal life aspect. My personality is, I set myself something and I achieve it. There's no ifs or buts. No matter what avenues I have to go down to get it, no matter what I tell myself to do to get it, I have to get it. I've got everything I've ever wanted. Probably buying my house at 25 was probably one of the top 5. You know, there's not a lot of people that can achieve that. And when my parents haven't achieved it, and then they kind of come at me and go, do you know what, Carl, like, I'm proud of you about doing that. I'd say that was probably a good point where I've gone, yeah, do you know what, I've made it. I met a very, very good friend of mine called Federico, and we've been very good friends since, and he's in my industry in a slightly different field. He does digital forensics and data recovery. I trained with him for a little bit, and what we was doing is very niche. There's not a lot of many people in the world that can do what he does, and there's not many people in the world that can do what I do. When I done that little training with him, and I come back and done it by myself with my own microscope in my own room without any guidance, I'd say probably that's a little bit of like success. I originally started obviously with just consoles, and my expertise has always been with consoles, even though I've diversed into others. But console clinic went hand in hand. I specialise in PlayStations, Xboxes, PSPs, Wiis, all of that console generation. And I went through various names, console doctor, you know, console ambulance at one point. It was just like a whole thing, and I was sitting there with my dad, and I was like, oh, these are the names I've come up with, what do you think? And he was like, I think console clinic's got a twang to it, you know. And then ever since then, yeah, console clinic just developed. I think I was about 12 at that point. Yeah, probably about 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
You came up with that name as well?
Yeah. A lot of my customers have been loyal since I started at 15, 16 years old. When I turned 18, I used to go around people's houses 1, 2 o'clock in the morning fixing all their stuff. So I had that kind of connection, and a lot of them come here now. I've got a good rapport with them. People still say, do you repair phones? Do you repair laptops? Do you? Because obviously the name is Console Clinic. So I put up and said, look, I'm going to change the name. These are the faults, what should I do? I promise you now, over 500 people said, don't you dare change that name. I've outgrown the name. Someone hit the nail on the head, I think his name was Glenn. He said, Kyle, let me tell you, and he put this in the comments. He was like, Kyle, I've known you for a very long time. If you change that name, there is nothing to say that someone else out there is now going to nick that name. And if someone else takes that name, you're going to lose everything that you've built.
That's right.
And I sat there and thought, damn, Console Clinic is life. It's tattooed on me.
Wow.
Console Clinic has given me everything that I need and more. Whatever I feed Console Clinic gives me double back. So it's like I constantly got to do things for this online on Facebook. You know, someone says, where can I get something fixed?
Yeah.
There's loads of people. It brings its own little energy, and I do a lot for the community as well, you know. The brand name has its own like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like its own person. So yeah. I feel like I'm obliged to say my parents. I feel like I'm obliged to say it because, you know, I have to. My dad's obviously definitely, I do look up to him a lot, even if he might not think I do, because we've clashed over the years. But there's a lot of things I sit there and think to myself, what would my dad do in this situation? My nan, definitely. If you was expecting me to say Lord and Sugar is my idol, none of them interest me whatsoever. I'm proud of what they've done, and I hope they all continue to, you know, do the best, but I believe in myself and myself only. So whatever I do is only for me. I don't do it for no one else. I don't look at any mentor in the world and go, or look at anyone in the world and go, that's my mentor, I want to be like you. I don't want to be like absolutely anyone. I just want to be myself. There's two parts of inspiration. You can be an inspiration, or you can inspire. I don't want to be an inspiration, I want to inspire people to do things. The new technology thing that I've introduced in the schools, yeah, so we're the first now in the UK. I want kids to grow up understanding what it is they're breaking. You know, these things ain't cheap no more. And if I can kind of educate them, I want them to look at me and go, he's inspired me to do this. People watching this video, I want them to go, he's inspired me to. I don't want you to look at me and be like, I want to be like him. Don't be like me. Just take little snippets of what I'm saying, embed it in your own life, use it to your own success. Just let me inspire you to do something. I don't want someone sitting there going to me, oh, I wish I was like him. I hate when people say that. Honestly, I know hate's a strong word. I hate it when people say, I wish I was like Cristiano Ronaldo. I wish I was like Dan Bilzerian. I wish I was like this. Bro, shut up. Don't wish nothing. Like, just do what you got to do. If you want to be better, be better. If you want to be worse, be worse. Like, you just do what you're here for one person only. I know it sounds, again, cliche, but you're only here for yourself. Every single bit of work ethic comes from my nan. My nan is not a bum. My nan is 91 years of age and she still works. She refuses to sit there and do nothing. She crochets, she makes these little bears, she'll sell them on Vinted, like she'll sell them on Facebook. There's a lot of people I know, aging from 16 to 60, where they're like, I've got no work today, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not going to work today, I'm staying at home, this, that and the other. Then I sit there and think to myself, bro, my nan is 91 years of age, and she is still going. I always think to myself, it can be a tomorrow problem. So rather than me saying, oh, you know, there could be a situation where I'm like, do you know what, I have to do it now. I'm not really like that, because I program in my head what is important and what isn't important. So I'll only kind of do what I feel is important at the time. And then I feel like, yeah, we'll do that problem tomorrow. But then tomorrow something else happens. And I'm like, no, but I'll do that tomorrow, because something else important has happened. So how I overcome that is just basically sitting there and going to myself, just get it done. I create a list called GSD. It's called Get Shit Done. And every morning I write on it. And then I'll sit there and go, that's my list that I have to get done. And that's that. The shop got broken into. As the government announced COVID lockdown. So they announced on a Thursday and said all shops must close by 5 PM. Everyone was obviously in the scare factor. And then the day later, my insurance ran out on that morning. And I wasn't going to renew it because I didn't know what was going on with the whole, you know, country. Like, are we allowed to reopen? Are we not allowed to reopen? Like, the news and media outlets scared everyone that we didn't know what was going on. So I didn't renew my insurance. And a day later, the shop got broken into. We lost £25,000 worth of stock that couldn't be claimed back. And it was more along the lines of the damage that was done, the broken shutters, the broken windows. That was a little bit of a low point in life, because I thought everything that I've built, you know, someone's just come in, and I was watching through the CCTV, and I was sitting there thinking, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? I do nothing but try to help. So why me? Do you know what I mean? I feel like if you're gonna go and break into a Harrods, or you're gonna go and break into a B&Q, again, it's wrong in the eyes of the law. But these lot are multi-million-pound companies. Do you think they care about £25,000 worth of stock? They'll just claim it back and job done. But to target a smaller company, it's like, that's my livelihood. Like, you're not just taking money from the shop, you're taking money from the employees that I pay. You're taking money from, you know, the family that I feed, and do you know what I mean? It's just it's a little bit too much. I had a good large community support. They came, they helped me clear up the glass. My dad was here, like first on call, like first response. You know, he's here. He's like, don't worry, Kyle. Look, it's as long as you're okay, all of this can be replaced. Don't worry about what the damage they've done. Don't worry about anything. As long as you are good, who cares? And that was the mentality that I kind of developed at that stage. Was, you know, there's a lot of times that I've had a few car crashes. And I call my dad, and I've had serious car crashes where, you know, I am lucky to be alive. But my dad says the same thing. Number one, you're an idiot. That's, you know, kind of thing that comes out of his mouth. But then number two is, it's a piece of metal that can be replaced. So when bad things happen, I do sit there and think to myself, if it's out of my control, you know what I mean? What can I do? I can't control everything. I can control a lot, but I can't control everything. I didn't sleep for a period of time, you know. 18, when I passed my test, I was still doing paper round. From 6 in the morning till 7 in the morning was my paper round run, earning 20 quid a week. Then I would go from college from 8:30 till 3. Then I would go and work at the shed shop, and that would be there from 3:30 till 6:30. And then I would do call outs from 6:30 till 1:30. That was my whole day routine. They were the sacrifices I had to make in order to get here, because I created a very, very good client base. You know, I was going around people's houses. There's a guy, he was on MasterChef, his name's Victor. This guy would be the only guy that would call me at like 1 in the morning. Kyle, I need you to fix my phone, man. I've got work in the morning. And I'm like, bro, like, can I sleep? I'm sitting there thinking, I can fix that phone in 10 minutes. If I can earn myself £40 in 10 minutes, and it takes a 5-10 minute drive, I might as well do that. What else am I going to do? What, sleep? I'm still active, I'm still like, you know, energetic, I'm still busting with energy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still like, it's caught up on me now because I'm tired all the time. But yeah, they were the sacrifice I had to make, you know. I was working flat out like a dog, constant. I would only have 6 hours sleep, and I'll still try and squeeze a gym session in between that. It's got me to where I am today. This, voicing my opinion, giving my thoughts and trying to steer people in the right direction. There's a lot of things I've done coming on here, you know, with you, doing a stand-up speech in a school in Kent, going on to E4. As much as inspires me and motivates me with the constant customers, I feel like now that's like groundwork. So that's now a given. I have to do that, otherwise if we don't do that, the business ain't gonna run. So now I feel like that just moves like clockwork, you know, it's just done. But what motivates me more is the next step. What can I do next? How can I inspire the next generation? How can the company get more exposed? By you approaching me to do this is like a little thing in my life where I'm like, okay, cool, that motivates me. What's next? You're telling me you're gonna make a Netflix documentary? I might be on it, you know? These are the things. So yeah, no, these are the things that motivate me, the next steps. I am the customer. If the shoe was on the other foot, how would I want to be treated? What kind of expectations would I have? You know, something recently happened in my life that's quite bad. Then I sit there and think to myself, I can't judge you because I wasn't in your shoes. So it allowed me to channel my anger into understanding, being a bit more sort of considerate about the situation. If a customer walks in now and they kind of go like, this is what I expect, I kind of already know what they expect. That's where my values come from, you know. It's like, how would I feel in your situation? When I was speaking to Julie when she came in and we was doing the fight against knife crime, and we took the bleed kits, you know, it's trying to understand why people are the way they are. That allows me to keep the values that I've got, rather than me just being this self-centered person where it's like, I don't care about your opinion, I don't care about this, I don't care about that, I only care about me. And when you have that kind of level of arrogance, that's when you lose your values. So when you come from an understanding from other people, that's when I feel like your values, what you believe in, what your morale, you know, everything that you go, this is what I stand for, you can only stand for that if other people understand what you're standing for. Otherwise, then you're just having a conflict of interest, and then it turns into back and forth of an argument. Once I understand where you're coming from, then we can come to mutual grounds, and then we can be best of friends and we can hug it out. Man up or not up? It's man up or not up. It means you man up, you do what you need to do, and cry about it later. A good friend of mine, and I had to give him a hard speaking to this morning because that's my mentality. There's no point crying about something that you have no control of. Yeah, so just man up, sort it out, do what you need to do, and worry about it tomorrow. Stop sitting there saying to yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that, why should I do this? Like, don't degrade yourself like that. Just shut up, get on with it, and then reap the rewards after. Because a lot of people, they deep their faults more than the actual reality even exists. A lot of people will sit there and go to themselves, yeah, but should I do that? Because if I do that, then this could happen. Bro, you haven't even started yet. How are you telling me that this could happen when you haven't even made that first step? Is it man up or not up, or man up and shut up? I think it might be shut up, you know. I was thinking man up or shut up. It might be man up or shut up. Yeah, I'm no good at words.
That's yours.
So man up or not up. I don't know where that comes from.
No, you made that.
Alright, I made
No,
it.
that came from you.
Alright, man up or nut up? I think.
Had it here first.
Yeah, just get on with it, man. What is the point in sitting there moaning about a situation you have no control over? You want to start a business, just do it. If it don't work, you're in the same position you are today. You want to ask that girl out that you've been sitting there thinking, oh, what is if she says no? She ain't even said yes yet. What are you worried about if she says no? Live the life as if no one's even watching, because, you know, people have got a very small attention span. And what happened today will be forgotten tomorrow. If you want to go and buy this bike, you know, the beautiful bike that's out there, you're now reaping that reward because now you've got that bike. But there was a point in your life where you sat there and think, should I consider this bike? Why should I consider this bike? Just shut up and get it. If you don't like it, get another one. And you know what they say, when you ask an elderly person who's on their deathbed, they say about the things they regret not doing rather than the things they did. And I know it's cliche, but it's 100% true. you know, if you got to take that leap of faith, because if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't be here today. If you didn't do what you're doing now, who knows what the future holds for you. So just get on with it. Best of luck. My life is business. My life surrounds around business. I don't even have a personal life anymore.
Oh man.
My personal life is gym, eat, sleep, repeat.
Oh okay.
Hard truth attitude. I'm open to conductive criticisms, because conductive criticisms is the only way you're going to grow. People see things differently, so by me sitting there and going, you know, I'm Mr. Know-It-All, imagine me sitting in front of Richard Branson telling him I'm Mr. Know-It-All. He'll laugh at me. So hard truths, you know, is like, tell me what I'm wrong at, and if it's within my proximity to do it, I'll adjust it. If it's outside of my proximity, I'm not going to do it. But if you tell me go into a TV show and come out your comfort zone and do something, I'll do it just to prove a point. So yeah, you have to have the mentality of just prove that you can be the person that they think you won't be. It will die with me, or it will grow with me. If I feel the reputation of my legacy will perceive in someone that I feel was worthy, it will be continued. If it comes to a point in my life where I feel there is a no going forward, the legacy that I've created will end with me, because I can't have it being tainted. I can't afford to let someone else run what I've built to then potentially ruin it, because people, like I said, when they have shorter attention span, people will only remember the bad and not remember the years of good. All it takes is one bad thing, all closed down, people are only going to remember the bad. So I feel like, you know, I built it absolutely perfect, so it either goes to someone that I know is worthy, or it finishes with me. I'd like to be remembered for all the positive things I've done. I just try to help as much people as I can, because I feel like with the connection and the network that I have, I can always point people in the right direction. I can always put people in touch with other people. So I'd like to just be remembered as the person that helped them in situations they needed help in. Obviously, I'm going to be thankful to everyone and everything. I'm a solo band, do you know what I mean? And you know, I thank the team that I've got now. I am thankful for the life that I've living. I'm thankful for the life I'm living. I'm just thankful for everything and everyone, you know. I've met some really, really great people along the way. I'm thankful to you. I'm just thankful to everyone, you know. No one's above another person, you know, where I can be like, listen, I'm really thankful to you, but I'm not really thankful to this person. Like, I'm just thankful to everyone. On the beach, retired.
Oh, for real?
Relaxing. I promised myself I'd be retired by 35. It's looking very 65. But I think the projection is, you know, family. I don't obviously have like kids or anything yet, so I think that's definitely personal. That's my next goal. To start a family, start teaching them, you know, the ropes and giving them a really, really good start in life. The thought of having children and steering them in that right direction makes me happier than anything that could possibly even happen. Business, I think we're going to expand. I'm not going to tell you how, but we're going to expand in ways that no one has developed. I'm not going to go down the road of opening multiple stores. I'm not going to go down the road of online. I'm going down a completely different path. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. Give a little bit of a insight, like a, you know, an exclusive just for you. The educational system is what I think I'm going to go down. There's a huge industry, there's a huge market, there's a huge gap, and I'm the only person for it.
Love that. Enough said. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I am a man that gets results. I get done. That's it. No matter what it is, no matter the cost, no matter the price, just get done. Pause that, Paul. Sounds going. Yeah.
occupied,
Oh, yes.